Okay, so welcome to Yin. I'm Tiffany. Like I said, tonight we're going to be working on just the whole entire body. So we're going to work everything. I'm sure we're all stiff and need a good stretch. So we'll do that tonight, as well as working on just releasing our stress. And so just try to unwind, relax, and let go of anything that you can. So we'll start out in a comfortable seated position. And then close your eyes. If you'd like, you can place your hands at heart center. And then quiet your thoughts. Relax your breath. Leave aside whatever happened today. Let go of whatever you thought should happen today. Just here and now, let go of your expectations, of your stresses, and your worries. Feel them all leaving your body. And take a deep breath in. And take a long, slow exhale out through your mouth, letting go of all of those things that may have came up. Again, inhale, deep breath in. Exhale out through your mouth. And do a few rounds of breath like this on your own. With each inhale, imagine breathing in new energy, breathing in positivity, and letting go of everything else. And then knowing that it's okay to let go of these things, of your worries, your expectations, and you will be okay. Do one more round of breath this way. And then return to your natural breath. Notice if your breath feels any lighter, your chest feels any lighter. Just with that small exercise of breathing and letting go. And slowly start to open your eyes. And place your hands on top of your knees. And then take a deep breath in and shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And then exhale, open your chest and slide your shoulder blades down your back. Good. One more time. Inhale, shoulders up. And nice big exhale out through the mouth, opening the chest, sliding the shoulder blades down. We'll get started tonight in a child's pose. So coming onto the knees, You can place a blanket or a block underneath you if you need to. You can also place a block underneath your head if that's more comfortable. And then just stretch your arms up towards the top of your mat and let your head rest on your mat or on your block. Turning your attention inward. Shutting out the outside noises, anything else that might be going on, and allowing this time for yourself. Taking some deep breaths here. And then starting to feel your body sink deeper and deeper into your mat. And then start to let your breath relax. For this last minute of the pose, we're going to bring the arms down beside the legs. Allow your shoulders to melt over your legs. Allowing your arms to just drop into the mat. And while you're here, you can work on your 4-4 breath. Inhaling for 4 seconds. Exhaling for 4 seconds. Your number may be different, but just even out the inhale and the exhale. This is a breathing technique you can use anytime throughout your practice tonight, especially if your mind may start to wander. Bring your mind back to your 4-4 breath. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and very slowly, one vertebra at a time, start to roll up to seated. Making your head the last thing to come up. Taking a breath there. And then once you feel like your blood has settled, you can sit back into a cross-legged position. And then we'll move on to a neck stretch. So we're going to bring the right arm up into the air, touch the left ear, and then bring the right ear over towards the right shoulder. You can stay with just that, or you can bring this left hand out beside you. The further you walk the hand out, the more of a stretch you'll get. It will kind of go from just your neck to even into your shoulder a little bit. And then try to let the shoulder relax down away from your ear. Nice deep breaths. Really allow that neck to open up. Might feel a little stiffer than you're used to. That's okay. That's why we're here. And take one more breath here. And then start to release the ear and bring the head back up to center. And then we're going to do it on the other side. So bringing the left arm up into the air, touching the right ear, bringing the left ear over towards the left shoulder. And then you can keep your right hand on the leg or place it out beside you. Maybe walking the hand out a little bit. Try to make sure you're relaxing the shoulder down away from the ear. Breathing into the side of the neck. And take one more breath here. And then release and bring the head back up to center. Next, just go ahead and roll your shoulders a little bit. Maybe roll your neck back and forth. Maybe roll it all the way around. Just whatever feels good here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come onto hands and knees. We're going to do some wrist stretches. So first we're going to start out by taking your fingers, so a couple of options, either taking them just so they're pointing to the sides of your mat or turning them all the way around if that feels okay and pointing them back towards your knees. Then if you could use even more stretch, you can bend, just kind of lean back a little bit until you find the stretch that you need. Take one more breath here. You've leaned back, come back to normal, and then start to turn each wrist around one at a time, just doing some wrist circles along the way. And then placing both hands back on the mat. For the next one, I'm going to start with my left hand first so that you can see what we're doing. So you're going to take whichever hand, right or left, but just one of them. Place the top of your hand on the mat so your fingers are pointing towards your knees. And then try to straighten your elbow if that feels okay. That might be enough, but if you need more, lean back. Try not to put too much weight on your whatever one that you're upside down on. Most of your weight should be on the flat hand that's normal on the floor. So this one with the top of the hand on the floor, not too much weight there. We're stretching the front of the wrist. Take this as little or as much as you need it. Remember to focus on the breath. And one more breath here. And then gently lift that hand up, again doing some wrist circles. And then set that hand back down. We'll do it to the other side, switching hands. So placing the top of the hand on the mat, fingers pointing towards your knees. You can stay here, you can keep your elbow bent a little bit, or to have more stretch, straighten the elbow. To have even more stretch, lean back until you find a good stretch for you. And one more breath here. And then bring that hand back to its normal position, doing some wrist circles along the way. And setting both hands down. Next, we're going to come into our, let's do our ankle next. So you might want a blanket for the ankle stretch. Without the blanket, what you will do is just, you're on the tops of your feet, you're going to sit back. And then this might be enough, staying upright. You could also have your blocks for this if you need to put your hands on the blocks. But what we're going to do is lean back until you find a stretch in the front of your ankle. So you might want to put a blanket under there. That helps to lift it just a little bit, but not too much. It also gives you a little support. Or we're going to lean back and lift the knees. So see what works for you here. Try to keep focusing on your 4-4 breath. And one more breath here. And go ahead and drop your knees and come back up. Pause there for a moment. And then next we're going to come into our toe squat. So we're going to, you can start at hands and knees, bend the toes, and then start to lean back. You can use your blocks if you need to. Place your hands on your thighs, kind of leaning in slowly there, or sitting all the way back, coming upright, stretching the feet. This might be another one that feels a little more stiff than normal. It's not the easiest pose as it is, but when we're not moving our feet as much, we get extra stiff. So we'll try to breathe through it. Nice deep breaths. And take one more deep breath here. And then come forward onto hands and knees and tap the tops of the feet out on the mat. We're going to sit back, not quite cross-legged. We're going to come into a cow face position with our legs. So we're going to bring the right knee, that's going to be on the bottom, going to point it straight ahead as it will go, and then try to stack the left knee directly on top of that. You can keep the feet as they are. We're going to do a different kind of stretch coming forward, so you don't really need to bring them in a straight line, but you can if you'd like. If this is uncomfortable, you could sit in cross leg. You could also do fire log instead, bringing your shins on top of each other. And whichever one you decide to do, we're going to bring the hands out in front of you. Notice that that increases the stretch already in your hips quite a bit, so you can stay with that or start to walk forward and stop wherever you need to stop. We will be holding this one a little longer than we've held the other poses. So once you get to a place that you can hold, focus on your breath. And as you're here, you may be able to go a little deeper and a little deeper as we hold. And one more deep breath here. And then very slowly start to walk back in. You can uncross your legs. If you'd like to pause a moment and just stretch them both out, maybe wiggle the knees. And then we'll switch. So the left knee's on the bottom, right knee's on the top. If you're in cross leg, switch the cross of your leg. And if you're in fire log, switch your top and bottom legs. And then when you're ready, placing the hands out in front of you. That might be enough. You can stay there or start walking forward. Breathing into the hips, listening to your body. No need to rush. No need to go further if it doesn't feel okay. And one more breath here. And then very slowly walking back in. And unwinding the legs. And again, bringing them straight out in front of you. Wiggle them out a little bit. And next we're going to come into caterpillar pose. If you'd like to use your strap tonight for this, you can. You can unwind it and place your strap around your feet. You can stay upright or walk your hands down the strap. Or if you can reach your feet comfortably, again, whatever feels okay. We're just stretching the backs of the legs. Keep your feet nice and flexed. Bring a little bit of awareness to your jaw. Notice if you're clenching it up. Maybe move it back and forth a little bit. And taking one more deep breath. And slowly start to release on the strap, sliding back up. Sitting up tall. Pausing there for a moment. And then go ahead and release the strap, set that aside. And we're going to come to laying on our stomach. Make sure that you have room on each side. So we're going to do our shoulder stretch. I'll give you a moment to get situated. So laying on our stomach. We're going to start out with the right arm going straight out, so it's laying on the floor. And then your left hand's going to go right underneath your shoulder. And we're going to roll over onto the right side. And you can stay there. That might be enough of a stretch for you. Or you can take your left knee, bend the knee and place the foot behind your leg. That will help you to increase the stretch a little bit more. Or you can place the left arm up into the air, let it fall behind you, or place the top of the hand on the lower back. Breathing into that shoulder. Making sure you take whichever level feels best to you. It might feel tight. Breathe into it. One more breath here. And then bring the left hand back underneath the shoulder. Roll back onto your stomach. And carefully bring the right arm in. And we'll switch sides. So bringing the left arm out to the side, right hand underneath your shoulder. And then rolling over onto that left side as little or as much as you want. You can just roll just a little bit or roll all the way onto the side and keep your hand here for support. You can bend the right knee, placing the foot behind the leg. That increases the stretch. And like more stretch, lifting the right arm up, bringing it behind you, or placing the top of the hand on the lower back. And breathing into that shoulder as much as you can, trying to allow it to open up. And one more breath here. And then bring the right hand back underneath the shoulder. Roll back onto your stomach. Bring the left hand back in carefully underneath the shoulder. And then carefully press back into a child's pose. We won't be here long, just a couple of breaths. Maybe even bring your knees to the edges of the mat for a wide knee child's pose. Stretching everything out. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And then slowly start to lift your head, walk your hands in. We're going to swing the legs around and come to laying on your back. We will be on our back for the rest of the time, so if you want to make sure that all of your props are nearby, you can do that along the way. And from here, we're going to hug the knees into the chest. You can start out with a little bit more of a hug, but then make sure to release it just a little bit. You don't want to spend the whole pose hunched up and squeezing as tight as you can. So give it a good hug, stretch your lower back, and then start to relax your arms, relax your shoulders down. Let your hands relax a little bit. Let your hips drop more towards the mat. Soften your facial features, relax your jaw. And take 2 more deep breaths here. And then release your hands and release your feet down to the mat. Next, we're going to grab the strap and we're going to place the strap underneath the right foot and then bring that leg up towards straight. So flex the foot, make it look like the foot is standing on the ceiling. Try to straighten the leg as much as you're able to. Breathing into the back of the leg. You can keep this left foot on the mat with the knee bent, or you can straighten that leg out. And then we're going to place both of the straps in the right hand. Point your toes off to the right and open this leg up to the right. So now we're stretching the inside of your right leg. Sorry about my foot in your face. Try to keep your left shoulder on the mat. If you'd like, you can place your left hand on your left hip. And then if you need more of a stretch, you can pull this foot up closer towards your head. One more breath here. And then bring that leg back up to center. We're going to switch hands with the strap. So placing the strap in your left hand, point your toes over to the left and then drop that leg across and over to the left. You might have to move a little bit if you have things around you. And then you can place your right arm out into T. And if you'd like to add a little bit of a twist, you can look over the right fingertips. So we're stretching this full right hip, right side of the leg. One more breath here. And then bring that leg back up to center. Give it one more little stretch here, straightening it out. And then remove that foot from the strap. Point the toes up into the air and slowly lower that leg long along the mat. When the foot reaches the mat, stretch through the right toes. Almost feels longer than the other leg. So we'll even it out. So we're going to place the strap underneath the left foot and bring that leg up towards straight. Relaxing the foot. And then again, you can place your right foot on the mat, keeping the knee bent, or you can straighten it out. That feels okay. Just breathing into the back of the leg. Noticing anywhere you may be holding tension. Try to let that go. One more breath here. And then we're going to place the foot, or place the strap, in the left hand, and then drop the foot open to the left. So here you might want to straighten your right leg out if you haven't already. And we're trying to keep this right shoulder on the mat. Right hand can go on the right hip for a little bit of balance, help. And again, if you need more stretch, pull the foot up closer towards your head. Looking for that stretch on the inside of the left leg. And focus on your 4-4 breath here. Or just nice deep breath. And one more breath here. And then gently bring the leg back up to center. And we're going to switch hands with the straps. The straps will go in the right hand. Point the toes over to the right, and then drop the leg, crossing over to the right. You can bring the left arm out into T. And if you'd like to add a little bit more of a twist, you can look over the left fingertips. Looking for the stretch deep in the left hip. And one more deep breath here. And then slowly bringing that leg up towards straight. Straightening it out one more time. Maybe give it one more little pull. And then remove that foot from the strap, set your strap aside, point the toes up into the air, and slowly lower that leg along the mat. When the foot reaches the mat, stretch through the left toes. And then stretch through the right toes as well. And then lift your arms up overhead for a full body stretch. Taking a deep breath there. And then next we'll move into banana pose. So you can keep your hands as they are. They may be kind of stacked on top of each other. Or you can grab your right wrist with your left hand. Or you can grab opposite elbows. Grabbing elbows is going to be kind of in the middle stretch. Grabbing your wrist is going to be the most. So then we're going to walk our feet over to the left. Bring your upper body and your arms over to the left. So your whole body is going to the left, stretching the whole right side of your body. Try to let your right shoulder relax down as much as possible. And then walk your feet back to the center. Bring your upper body back to the center. And then if you're grabbing your wrist, grab your left wrist. If your hands were on top of each other, just switch the top hand. If you're grabbing the elbows, you'll be fine to stay as you are. And then we'll walk the feet over to the right and lift the upper body and bring it over to the right. So the feet and the upper body are going in the same direction. We're in the shape of a banana, stretching that whole left side. Try to relax your left shoulder as much as possible. And then bring the feet back to center. Bring the upper body back to center. And stretch everything out one more time. And then let your arms and your feet relax. We have one more pose before Shavasana, and that will be supported fish pose. You can always do this however you like to do it. I'm just going to show you. We did this last time. This is how it was. So different ways that you can set your blocks. You can set it this way, or this way. Sometimes it just depends on your shoulders, whatever feels good for you. Sometimes it depends on how stiff you are, how much of a back bend you need. And then this back block really is just to support your head. So it doesn't matter how that is, as long as it's comfortable for you. If you like your head to just be on the mat, you can do that as well. So go ahead and play around with that tonight. See what feels good. This might look good, and then you get there and you say, no way. This is a great one for us to do. We have all been sitting extra, and so it's good to get those shoulders out of the hunch. So you just want your shoulders and chest to open up. You need to place maybe a blanket underneath your hips. Try that. Fold it up to wherever, whatever level you need it. Just get yourself comfortable or somewhat comfortable, just so you're not uncomfortable. Let those shoulders open up. Your feet can be on the mat with the knees bent, or you can straighten your legs out. Your arms can be however that feels good, just laying as mine are, maybe out to the side, saguaro cactus. Or if you're really flexible right now and you want to lift your arms up overhead, you can do that. Just let the chest open up. This would be a great thing to do every night before bed to reverse the effects of all of our sitting. Take one more deep breath in. And a long, slow exhale out through your mouth. And next we'll get ready to come into Shavasana. If you are comfortable here, you're more than welcome to stay here. If not, remove the blocks. You can roll over onto one side, then the side. And we may go just a few minutes over, but maybe just one or two. So if you need to get off at a certain time, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll just be a couple minutes after 8 possibly. So go ahead and lay down on your back, getting comfortable. Just noticing your body. And allowing your body to start to get heavy on your mat. Quieting your thoughts and relaxing your breath. Taking in all the effects of your yin practice. And then starting with the top of your head, imagine the tension melting out of your forehead, out of your jaw, and out of your neck. And imagine the tension melting out of your chest and shoulders, arms and hands. Imagine the tension melting out of your back, abdomen, hips, legs, and feet until your whole body is completely relaxed. You have nothing to do for the next few minutes but relax. Shavasana. Start to bring your awareness back to your body. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Make some wrist circles, ankle circles. And then let your head drop over to the left. And then over to the right. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side, pausing there for a moment. And then when you're ready, pushing yourself up to seated, with your eyes closed. If you'd like, you can place your hands at heart center. And then take a nice deep breath here. Take a moment to scan your body, from your head to your toes, feeling the relaxation all through your body. Feeling the relaxation in your breath and in your thoughts. May you be able to bring this feeling of relaxation with you throughout the rest of your evening. Thank you for your practice and your presence. Namaste.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, guys.